Lassa.
Finger guns.
I'm not doing that.
We are
Good
live
evening.
now, by the way.
And welcome to the music of the night. Another after hours edition where we are a little more loose and a lot more goofy. And all the finger guns. And yeah, so we are waiting on a couple of our members to see if they will join us. And while we do that, we're going to be doing some of the boring game nonsense. So if you're not into that, just come back in about, I don't know, half an hour to an hour, and we should be getting back into the
If
actual
you are
story.
into that, though, welcome. You're in the right place.
Yeah. If you're into that, then as I said last time, you are the best kind of weirdo. And please, join us. Okay. So, Maya and Petra are here with me tonight, played by...
kcStranger.
Ice9.
And I'm Karnis. All right, so let's start with how much XP do the both of you have?
I think I have one.
Like
that
that.
seems
Like
useful.
that I haven't spent.
I have one practical XP.
I have one unspent.
Oh, well then why are we even doing
Because you
spent-
never awarded us any since the climax.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't?
No.
No.
Wait, what was the last time I gave you guys XP?
Session
The
before that.
Oh, okay. Then you guys definitely have 4 XP from the climax, and
So 5
we
total.
will say nope. We will say that.
So that's 4 session XP that I'm adding for 2
Yes.
weeks ago.
Oh shit! And then you guys are gonna have practical XP from that as well. Let me do a quick tally. Encounter. Powers you hadn't seen before. Wasn't a new entity. So, not that. You did save somebody by technicality. Nobody
Briefly.
died.
Briefly.
Nobody died. Or let me rephrase. No hunters or civilians died. All right, yeah, so you guys should get 5 practical XP from that then? Oh, no, and then 1 for each hunter, so 9. 9 practical XP, which will go to the pool. And honestly, I'd like you guys to think about spending that on a tactic, but we'll go into tactics when Bex and Q are actually here.
Okay, so we're...
Or would you like me to talk briefly about tactics now?
I mean, if you think you're just going to have to repeat yourself later for
For
not much of a gain, then you can save it. But
Okay.
I don't care.
You can save it.
Well, no, like, I mean, I will have to go over it again.
Yeah, we might as well wait.
Okay. So then the only other thing then is we're going to talk about in-between arc XP. So this is basically experience that you guys are going to earn from sort of these little vignettes and just sort of generic stuff that you guys are going to do.
Oh, by the way, real quick. So we each got 4 XP just now. And
Yes.
then there's like the group pool of 9, which I'm
9.
not marking on my character sheet just yet, but I've recorded on a page.
Okay.
I almost want 8 instead of 9, just so that it can divide evenly. I'm not actually going to ask you to do that, though.
I'll make it 12.
Okay! Win.
This is why you ask.
It's a boss. It's worth a couple extra XP.
Okay, so in that case, I'm just going to add 3 to my sheet.
So you guys are going to get 9 XP over the course of the in-between stuff as well.
So that's 14 then.
An additional 9. Now, Ice. I need to do a thing that I meant to do a long time ago.
What's that?
Send you links to shit you can buy.
I want to buy shit.
You technically have access to certain merits now that you are a psychic.
Oh, yes.
I did. I told you, KC, the stuff you had access to right now, right?
Yes. Although
Good.
I had a quick question. Do I know, because I have one sort of like ritual that I purchased. Do I know the casting time for that? Because I realized during that entire last fight, I didn't know how long it would take me to get that off.
You should know, yeah. You would know from experience, like from coming to understand, and maybe in that fight it made sense for you not to know, but definitely after this, you do know exactly how long it takes.
Okay, how long does it take?
Oh, you didn't read the... Okay.
No,
so,
because you told me not to read anything. So I don't even know what it does.
Oh. So that's my bad. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
This is the...
It's this one.
The one that banishes and cleanses an area, right?
No, it's this one. You said it's an empowered exorcism. I broke Karnis.
Oh, I like clicked back really quick to make sure he wasn't gone when you said that.
I 100% don't remember what that was supposed to be. Hold on.
I will give you the extent of my notes on the subject.
Yes, do that, please. Okay, all right. Well, now I know where I got that statement from, because I did Google research. Okay.
Your memory is equal parts the best and the worst.
Fascinating. I'm pretty sure I based that off of something, so give me a second.
Okay, that's fine. If it needs to happen later, that's probably fine too.
Yes, I will have to. I have to do some digging into that. Did I tell you that was something you just had?
I had to purchase it.
You had to purchase it. Okay, then I'm going to do this right now.
The thing that I just had was this, and you told me how this works.
Yes, Skin of the Loa. Yeah.
Although
okay.
I don't actually know how long that takes to cast, for what it's worth.
That's instantaneous.
Okay.
It takes a turn.
Okay.
So we're talking 3 to 6 seconds.
Okay.
And yeah. Skin of the Loa is the cheaty ass, not making up a name for it way to do it.
I can think of another name. Or we can just go with Loa. You can make a Loa some other thing.
I mean, we could just call it.
We'll figure it out.
Hold on.
Oh.
Hold on. Nope, I'll think of it later. It didn't come to me immediately. Okay, so the cost for the thing that you sent me, can I say it? Would it bother you if I said it? Okay, for the Vade Retro Santana is, I believe it's simply 2 XP or 1 XP.
Wait, you have to spend XP to cast it?
No. Oh, did I tell you you had it?
I purchased it for 5.
Oh, you purchased it for 5. What?
Yeah, you told me all of these things cost 5.
Okay. Let me double check that before I feel like a dumbass. So I know what it does. I know I will tell you, but I wanted to double check something.
Yeah, he knows what it does.
Now I remember I told you you had 1 to 5 dots in the endowment.
Right?
I didn't think I told you that each individual one cost 5.
That's what I wrote down, and that's how much I spent to buy it.
Okay. So here's the weird thing. Why don't these ones have dots next to them? I don't like this. Oh, there it is, at a cost of 5. Okay, nope, yep, I'm not crazy. All right, cool. So I did actually look it up, and that is what it actually costs.
Okay.
Okay, so it's an extended roll.
Okay.
There's 2 versions. So there's the typical version, and then it's called the rushed version.
Okay.
So for a standard benediction, it is an extended roll, number of successes equal to the number of square yards that you're trying to bless.
Okay.
And each roll represents a minute.
Okay, so okay, I see. So basically, it's like a minute to cast it, and for each success you get, that's a bigger area.
No, it's you choose an area.
Okay.
And then each success, you have to get a certain number of successes.
Okay.
And each roll is a minute.
Okay.
Now the rushed version, you roll at a -1 penalty.
Okay.
And each roll is a turn.
Okay.
You still have to pick sort of an area you want to hit.
Okay.
And reach that number.
Okay.
But it's much, much faster.
Okay. And that's just -1 die?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's not actually that huge of a penalty to take the casting time a lot. It's just if you have a minute, might as well spend a minute.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. Also, with the rushed version, there's sort of rules for me to allow for you to be interrupted and stuff like that, but yeah.
Okay. Okay,
right,
and I have a generic idea of what the effect is. I don't know what it means mechanically, but that's probably fine.
If you'd like to know, I can actually spell it out for you.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you want to tell me. I mean, or just if you have something you can copy,
I'm
that's
not
fine too.
going to tell you what happens with the failure and the dramatic failure.
Okay.
But I will
You scared me again.
do this. I'm sorry, I speak slowly sometimes.
No, it's just I'm so used to on ear of like when that happens, it means you're gone.
Yeah, I know. I really hate that that's what you're used to. Okay, here we go. I'm going to copy this, and if you like, I will whisper it to you. Nope,
Okay.
It did not work.
Oh, I try to do that. If it's too long, it screws it up.
I'm not looking. It's fine. I won't look.
Oh, wait. No, that's not the one I'm talking about, unless you copied multiple.
Nope, I copied a single one.
You copied the Blessed Protection of Saint Agrippina, which is not the one I took.
Okay. Now I don't know then what that was supposed to be. Oh! I'm an idiot. I'm a real dum-dum.
Okay. So just FYI, it'll do that if you attempt to whisper more than one paragraph. Like if you have any line breaks.
Okay, gotcha.
It'll screw up.
Extended contested each roll. Okay, so each roll is 5 minutes with the
Okay.
Vade Retro Santana, and it's extended contested, which means you're basically attempting to reach a number before your opponent does.
Okay.
Do you need the dice pool? You probably need the dice pool.
I probably do.
All right.
Is it otherwise like what you said? It's because it's probably not square yards then.
No. It's definitely not. I, for some reason, thought that I had renamed that for you, and I don't know why I thought that.
Okay. Okay. So does this one have 2 versions too, or is it just like a contested roll? Threshold?
Yes, it does. So it has
Okay.
the extended contested, or it has just a straight up contested roll.
Okay.
So the straight up contested roll. Okay, so basically what this allows you to do is it gives you a bonus to any sort of exorcism roll equal to your endowment. Oh, by the way, you can increase endowments with XP just like any sort of merit.
Okay. I'm really confused as to what this thing actually does, but if you just need
Okay.
to spell it out later, that's okay.
No, I'll spell it out now. So you roll. It's a contested roll. So
Okay.
you roll and the thing rolls.
Okay.
Whoever has more dice wins.
Okay.
If you have more dice, you deal damage to the entity.
Okay.
If they have more dice, nothing happens. If you're attempting to cleanse a place or a person via exorcism,
Okay.
it's an extended roll. And then each roll represents 5 minutes. So that's a situation where, like, you guys have captured somebody and you want to sort of, like, pull a spirit out of them, or you want to interrogate a demon or something like that.
Okay.
And then that would be more of an extended roll type of situation. And it's the same thing. It's you're rolling against the entity, and you want to roll more dice than them. For the dice extra that you roll, you basically deal damage to the creature.
Okay, and is the basic version a 1-turn thing?
The straight contested, not extended, is it's a 1-turn thing.
Oh,
you just
okay.
like match wills against the entity.
Okay. Huh. I actually didn't know that during the fight last time. I was thinking it was something longer. But okay, cool, good to know.
That's probably my fault, because when I was looking at it originally, I did not see the straight contested version.
Okay.
I just saw the extended contested.
Okay.
If you would like, here, let me send you this. There's an actual section in the just straight World of Darkness book on just like straight exorcism.
Okay. I think I understand what it does now, though. So.
Nope, that did not work.
I see page 213. I mean, can I just navigate there myself?
Yeah,
I'll
you can
do
totally
that.
do that. But it whispered one word.
Oh, it whispered the.
Yeah, like, what the hell?
I think in my experience, because I've had the same problem, it's always whenever there's a line break. And if you're copying from something else, a lot of things that formatting might transfer that way.
Don't worry about whispering. I don't feel like reading all that anyways, so it's fine.
Okay. All
I just won't look.
Ice, you are going to get some stuff. I don't feel like this is the right page, so I'm going to move away from it. I really don't want to have to download the entire effing. There's a whole book, and I don't want to have to deal with that. But if I have to, I will. Yep, I'm gonna have to do this. Ugh, I want to have to do this. At least I have the book, though. Okay, so aside from that, let's talk about what you guys might be spending your time doing, aka what it would make sort of the most sense for your XP to sort of end up in.
Okay.
So we'll start with Maya, since we just spent a lot of time with Petra. What are some of the things that Maya might be doing over the next, let's say, 2 to 3 months that might give her new strengths or refine certain skills? That what would she want to sort of polish up? What are those sort of things?
I'm thinking number one would just be like starting to research some of the things that have happened to like understand better what's going on, like reading and stuff.
Okay, so she's definitely going to work on her occult skill then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think that is a perfectly logical exception, or logical decision. So currently she has an occult of 2. So you could increase it to 3 for 6 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
9.
Is it 9?
That'd be all my things.
No, you would still have 5 left.
Oh, you're right. I think that makes sense, though.
I think it absolutely makes sense. And then let's save those last 5 for your merits.
Okay.
Okay, so thus far you have been pretty much merely telepathic. Okay, cool. So you're gonna get this for free
I like free.
because everybody got something for free. This is basically what you have sort of ended up with over the course of the last, and if you want, I can totally whisper that to you in Slack so it appears more neatly.
Yeah, can you do that?
Yep, done. And so this is the sort of ability that you have you started to gain and you sort of refined over the last couple months with Luca and just sort of testing things. Now, if you like, there are a handful of other telepathic merits you could purchase.
Okay.
So, to maybe help narrow it down, what would Maya like? So she now sort of knows she has these abilities. How does she practice with them? Like, okay? So Maya figures out that she has mind powers. What's the first thing she goes out and tries to do?
Guess people's drinks.
Okay, so that feeds right into your telepathy then.
It would honestly, like, since that's all I would know of it at that point, I would see myself using it like at work, like trying to because I wouldn't want to use it with people that I know, at least not yet, until I know better what I'm talking about. But like,
okay.
Yeah, like I'd probably, since I'm just around so many different kinds of people at work, I would probably use it there.
Okay, so that is actually a little bit different. So there's what you got for free, which is telepathic communication.
Right.
But there's another one that fits a little bit more into what you're talking about, which is called mind reading.
Yeah, want.
Okay, and there is a 3 and a 5 point version. I presume you want the 5 point version.
Want.
Okay. I will then copy this for Jew. And I will paste it here. Like this.
I'll just pin these to read through later.
Yep, go ahead. All right.
Dude, I love it.
That's pretty simple. That's your XP then. And increased occult ability, and yeah, now you can fucking read minds. Which is a scary thought.
This is what I've always wanted in real life.
All right. Petra. You have what? 15? Yeah. 15 points to spend.
13.
No, 13?
You gave me 4 from 2 sessions
14.
ago. 9 for the in-between stuff. I didn't
Oh,
have
14.
any before.
You had
Oh, I guess counting the practical experience.
You had 1 before, so you should be at 15.
I had 1 practical.
But that was practical.
Oh.
Okay, gotcha.
Counting the practical, it's 17. I have 4 practical.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
And actually, the only restriction on that is can't use it on attributes.
Attributes. Yes. Okay. You also can't use it. No. Yeah, it's just attributes. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So what might Petra be sort of working on in sort of the off period?
Okay, first of all, I want to learn basic first aid because this inability has come up multiple times.
That makes sense. I totally get that. No, I think Petra goes to fucking the like local fire station and like asks where they should get like first aid CPR training, and then maybe even goes on and like starts doing like some lower level paramedic shit. No, so I could totally see you buying in like 1 or 2 even maybe medicine points.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm min-maxing just a little bit here.
Okay, that's fine. So you're just gonna take 1.
Yes.
Nope. Hey, not having that -3 is huge.
Exactly.
We'll even say, hey, maybe even like you were talking to Wayne and he had to like recertify for work or something, and you were like, hey, can I come?
We can do it together.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's that. Oh, wait a minute. I think I forgot to remove a dot because I'm seeing myself at 1 in weaponry, but I thought I got rid of that when I took the ability. So I'm going to mark myself down, even though it makes me sad. Okay. So other than that, actually, okay, so this is somewhat min-maxy, but somewhat not, honestly, just based on the nature of it. Last session, I said that I spent a lot of time doing, like, sketches and such.
Yes.
So I think it makes sense for my expression not to be nothing.
I think that totally makes sense.
Okay. So I'll bump that.
Okay.
So I had 13. So that leaves me with 7.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, I guess probably just exploring. I mean, I'm talking very game mechanics and not very flavor right now. But maybe like exploring some more of those abilities.
That's exactly, actually, I was about to say, like, one of your scenes was inviting the archangels to come and bless the house. Like, I totally think you exploring that a little bit further is definitely part of that.
Okay. Any suggestions? So these are the
So I would.
I haven't purchased.
Okay. What is your actual? Hold on. I would say simply one of the options is to simply raise your benediction level.
Okay.
Or not benediction, but your endowment level. Where did you have that?
There's a section called endowments way at the bottom.
Oh, okay. So there's actually just like a raw endowment area.
Okay.
So the Vade Retro Santana and the Skin of the Loa are both abilities.
By the way, just because it's going to come up, Satana.
Yeah.
There's
Satana.
not an N before the T.
You're right. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
It is Satana. I look at it and all I see is Santana.
Yeah. It confused me at first, and then I like Googled it, and I was like, oh.
No, it's absolutely Satana. You are correct.
I just figured since we're gonna keep saying it, I may as well correct it.
So I'm gonna add a little thing in here. What should we call it?
Oh, so merit is actually just new dots times 2.
What?
I said merit is actually just 2 dots times 2. New dots times 2. Okay.
Yes, but the benedictions specifically require 5 XP per.
That's for purchasing, I thought, though.
Yeah, for purchasing them. Yeah.
No, you were talking about raising. Are we talking about raising or purchasing?
Oh, yeah. So we're talking about raising your overall endowment, which I guess we can just call it benedictions, but I feel like it
all these queue off the same thing.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We'll just call it benedictions for simplicity of... Oh, what did you do? You deleted a thing.
Yeah, I did. Well, I had separate bubbles for all of them, but I realized they're supposed to queue off the same thing.
They all queue off the same endowment,
yeah.
But having individual things on there for you to remember what you have is not a bad thing necessarily.
Yeah, but they're all in the tactics section.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, yeah, that's fine. They aren't technically tactics, but it's fine.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm applying my own organizational scheme here, which is suspect, but whatever. I mean,
Nope,
I'm literally using the endowment section as like my inventory. So
I noticed that actually.
So that's why I stuck benedictions to the side, because I figured these first 2 sets can be my inventory, and then on the right can be the actual endowments.
Cool. So it's dot plus new dot plus 2, so you could buy 1 more dot in it, and then have 2 left over.
I mean, I could potentially buy 2 if I wanted to.
Could you? Wouldn't it be 3 and then 5?
No, it would be
no.
It's new dots times 2, so it'd be 2 then 4.
Oh, gotcha. I thought it was plus 2.
Right. Like the only thing, I don't know. Do you have any advice as to whether that makes more sense or just like purchasing another thing?
So again, I would like to see you guys pull that practical experience for a tactic.
Fair.
But if you don't, I will force it to happen at some point.
Oh no, that's fine. Wait, let me double check. Okay, so at this point I've spent 6.
Yeah. You have 7 left. So you could get 2 and then spend that 1 point that you had ahead of time before the 12. And that would give you 4, right? Because you have 7 left?
I have 7.
That's pre-practical experience, right?
Right. Oh no. Okay, so I can spend 4 to raise my endowment to 2. So let me go ahead and do that. Because it's the amount that you wind up at. I just remembered.
Right. Yes.
You're
right.
So that puts me to 3.
Yeah. Okay.
So then it's just a matter of, do I want to spend the 3 or do I want to just sit on it? And I might just sit on it for now.
That's fine. Okay. Cool.
Could always raise my larceny.
I'm gonna. That said, keep in mind right now, I'm going to give you all an increase in something.
Okay.
Based off of sort of how side stuff goes. Like at the end of everything, I'm gonna raise something for all of you.
All right. Well, then, if you don't mind me banking the 3, I'm gonna bank the 3.
Yeah, bank it. Totally.
All right. Cool.
All right. Cool. That was pretty simple, honestly, all things considered. Ice, would you like me to send you the link for the second psych book?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that then. Bam. There you go. So that'll give you sort of insight to everything.
Oh gosh, I need to stop myself from what I was about to say.
Currently, Maya only has access to the telepathy merits. She doesn't have access to the telekinesis merits yet.
Right.
But that'll give you sort of something to look into. I'm in a bio break. Give me about 5 minutes. I'll be right back, and we'll get into vignettes.
Yes.
Because those are fun.
Yes, yes.
I guess
if he's going to do that, I'll do that too.
Bye, everybody.
All right, so we're going to do some little vignette stuff. Last time, Petra went on a date. Then Maya helped fix the cricket and went to see her dad and her brother. Then had a party. And lastly, Petra invited everybody over to sort of fix up the safe house. And then invited a bunch of friends over that nobody else can see. So we'll say if that moment when you guys sort of, that night when you guys go over and help set up the safe house and fix things that need fixed and maybe set up whatever sort of traps or anything you guys want to do, when that happens, we'll call that about a month, give or take, AA. So it's been about a month since that night. What are things are sort of gone back to normal for the most part, with the exception of a couple of things that you guys heard and or saw. What interests Maya? What are the things? So we know she's digging into occult stuff over the next couple of months. What sort of things is she digging into?
That is a very good question.
Is she just straight book studying? Is she looking up people to learn from? What do you see?
I see her just spending a lot of time like on the internet with like supernatural in the background.
Okay.
You know?
Is there any sort of focus to her study, or is it all sort of generic?
I think it kind of starts with trying to understand more about what just happened, and then maybe trying to understand more about like what happened in Maya's backstory. So those kind of two elements.
Okay.
But then it might just, you know how the interweb goes. It might just like spiral out into like different connections that kind of come up.
Okay. So you sort of start researching ghosts and spirits and spirits of violent deaths and those sorts of things.
Yeah.
And then you start to, from there, sort of spin out into other creatures that are created by violent death, which don't unfortunately limit themselves to spirits. Vampires, you could even say, are created by violent death. So it's,
Right.
there's a handful there. And you sort of just spread out from there, spend probably a little too much time locked up in your apartment on the internet. And
an unnaturally Maya amount of time doing that, yes.
Yes, especially.
Yes.
Very, very unnatural for Maya. So after a couple of days of sort of pouring yourself over this stuff, and you've learned a shit ton, especially when it comes to the area of spirits and entities that are created via dying. You remember what your brother had said.
Which time?
The last time you spoke to him. Yes, that was the last time. Sorry, I had to double check. And you remember him being a little spooked by the whole situation, and just your uncertainty with what might have actually happened.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, that one.
Notes.
Yes, that one.
Including direct quotations at this
I
point.
didn't have a direct quotation, so...
I was there, though. So maybe I start looking into things about what a veil may be.
I think what you start with is you go back to the site. You go back to that alley where you last saw Andy.
Yes.
With a recorder and an EMF and some sage and some salt.
Do I have one of those now?
I think after 3 or 4 days of poring over the internet on spirits and things created by violent deaths, you totally could make one. Or you could ask Petra to work with you on one.
I see myself appreciating Petra's little bag that she had and wanting to fashion something similar for myself.
Okay, so let's say the first thing you do is you go to Petra and you sort of ask her for help sort of outfitting yourself.
Yes.
I give her one of my redundant backups.
This will ease some anxiety for Maya.
This is a thing. Petra has like 3 copies of everything.
I don't know if that's actually true, but sure. Okay,
let me rephrase. She has 3 copies of everything that's cheap.
Thanks, girl.
Word. That probably is true.
All right, so Petra gives you your one of her backup EMFs.
Yeah,
she
actually,
gives you...
after what we just went through, I'm probably down to like, I've got one in my apartment, I've got one in my trunk, I've got one in my other trunk, I've got one like stashed away at the church, got one at the safe house, all the cheap stuff, only the cheap stuff.
Got one for Maya.
So you lend you know what?
What?
I got it figured out. Petra, you have an old backpack.
Okay.
And when I say it's old, I mean it's about 10 years old.
Okay.
It's a backpack you started putting together your senior year of high school.
Okay.
The end of your senior year of high school.
Okay.
It's got all the basic things Maya might need. It's all older. It's not necessarily your best work, but it works.
Okay.
And you don't really want the backpack sitting around anymore. Like, or at least I don't think Petra does. I think she, after her conversation with Wayne, she feels like she can pass it on.
Okay.
It's a very familiar backpack. It's white with purple stripes. The only thing that really sort of sets it aside is this point very, very faded little red mark on the inside of the pack that used to say Terra.
Oh, I thought it was going to be blood. Maybe it's blood.
But this was definitely your first sort of safety gear.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. You tell me. I think that's what you give Maya.
That's fair.
Okay. So yeah. So Maya, you have a basic gear set now.
I don't see myself keeping the purple and white striped book bag. Is that bad?
Make me a manipulation empathy roll +2.
Okay.
the bag means something to Petra. So I don't think Maya would just toss it.
Right.
Either she would keep it and use it as is, or she would give the bag back.
That's more what I was thinking.
Okay. Okay.
Was taking the stuff and giving the bag.
Okay. Sure. I will let you guys handle that. How you guys want to do it?
Are we?
How does that go?
Or
sure. Yeah, sure. How does that go?
Okay. All right. So Maya has dropped by, asked me, about this, and I think for a moment, disappear into my bedroom, rummage to a corner of the closet, and come back and sort of hold it out to her and say, "It's one of my older packs. Should do the trick though."
Oh, well, I don't need to take the bag. I have some bags. Maybe I can just, let you keep your bag and then I'll take the stuff. Or do you think it should stay together? If you want it to stay together, that's fine too.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Here, just a sec. And I'll run over and just get like an old grocery bag that I was using for like garbage or something.
Okay.
And sort of slowly take all the items out and hand it to her. Might recommend something more sturdy long term.
Oh yes. I will transfer it when I get home. I really appreciate this. I just felt very much like there were things I've been missing that I think need to become a part of my everyday carry.
Fair enough. I'm kind of afraid that something outside of my preparation might come up in the not so distant future. But
Don't tell me that.
Petra, make me a manipulation empathy roll. There it goes. Wow. Got 2 dice. Maya's not being dishonest, but there is something more, you feel. Like it's more than just she sort of wants to be prepared. She's looking for something, you feel.
Okay. So
you can do with that what you will.
Yeah. So as she's starting to turn around, I'll just sort of call after her a bit, still holding the backpack. Maya, is everything okay?
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm here if you ever want to talk about it, okay?
So like right now?
You want to talk right now?
Yeah, you seem to know a lot about that veil stuff.
Not really all that much, but come on, grab a seat. Do you want something to drink?
Always.
You grab a couple beers.
Okay. The word always implied something to me.
As it should.
He is a bartender.
And I do have an iron stomach.
All right. That being said, I'm actually just having water at this point, unless it's later than I imagine. Or actually,
it is Maya.
Whatever. No,
so,
I'm gonna share it. That's fine. I'm just
it's
like
Maya. I kind of imagine it's like early afternoon, like 3-4 o'clock at the earliest.
Drinking time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. For you, Maya, fine. I grabbed 2 beers. All right.
Also, this is like Petra kind of knows this is going to be a talk.
That's fair. So so we sit down, and you do actually notice I take the backpack and sort of stow it around. I'll say I have a sofa, so one end of the sofa, probably just like sitting on opposite ends, I would imagine.
Cool.
So, what's up?
Okay, so do you remember anything? I mean, there's been so much chaos that's gone on and it's been a while, but do you remember me telling you guys about Andy? If not, I'll refresh. It's fine.
I don't think she ever told us about Andy.
I don't
did.
think you did.
I did.
Did you?
One of the first episodes I did.
Really?
Okay,
I don't remember that at all.
All right, so because Petra has an iron memory, I will say, I remember you mentioning the name, but we didn't go into details.
An iron memory.
Iron stomach and iron memory were quite the pair.
Oh, okay.
I'm nearly positive because I remember like trying to say it all. And so I say, yeah, so I don't even remember how long ago technically it would have been.
Months.
Did we?
Hold on.
No.
So it's now been roughly a month from Anna's death.
Oh,
Pre
okay.
to that,
So just
we
like
were
6 weeks or
talking.
something.
Yeah, 6-ish weeks from Anna's death. So Andy would have been roughly 8 months before that, 6 to 8 months before that.
So mine's gonna say about a year ago, probably, or
you could round it up that way.
What season was it? What season was it?
It would have been. It's now getting into winter. It would have been last spring.
Okay, so that's how she'd say it. She'd say last spring.
Okay.
So last spring, I was out walking around Cuyahoga Falls with my boyfriend Andy at the time. So this was the first time I experienced any of this supernatural stuff, okay? And we were attacked by vampires, and...
Okay.
What?
No, I'm sorry. That just developed quickly. Go ahead.
What, Karnis?
One single.
By a vampire.
You said vampires.
Oh, in my head it was a group. Okay, by a oh, it was the really strong one.
No, it was just one. Don't worry about it. Anyways,
it felt very strong at the time. Regardless.
Because it was. Because, like, that's the difference between humans and vampires. Like, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Did it escalate too quickly? Am I telling this story too quickly?
No, go ahead.
Okay. And he did not make it.
See.
I swear I told you guys this before, but that's fine. I go through that quickly because that's what happened, but there's things that are happening now.
This kind of stuff doesn't normally escape me. You told me while we were going for breakfast.
Yes.
Yes. That's right. I remember.
Casey has an iron memory. All right.
I do remember that now.
I knew I said it.
Sorry, with all that happened.
No, I understand. It's fine. So, anyways, so you remember my brother Gail? You've met him a couple of times now.
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is after that. Okay.
At the party.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he got along with Wayne. Remember?
They did.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Wow. How can I remember these things? I'm proud of myself. Anyways.
Well, I mean, that was just last week.
I don't care. Anyways. So right after everything went down, and like Anna died, and like the funeral happened, like I ended up going and talking to Gail for a while, and he said that he thinks that he saw Andy.
That was after the party, actually, that he said that.
Okay. After the party.
Yeah, no, when you guys talked after you ended up at your dad's, he didn't mention it then. It was
I thought that was before the party. It doesn't matter.
I thought it was before the party, too.
It might have been before the party, but it was that night.
Okay.
Whatever.
Right?
It doesn't matter. So
yeah. Never mind. Sorry.
No, because what we did last week was my story, Petra's story, then party. So, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So, in the same park where he died?
He didn't die in the park.
It was out on the street.
An alley. Specifically, here, let me do a thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just, we keep breaking in and out, and I'm not talking about reception.
I know. Let me
it's okay because it's hard to remember stuff. I can't.
I mean, I don't think the details really matter on this point. Is the thing.
Okay. No, go ahead then. Sorry.
No, it's
I'll
fine.
Shut up.
I can't remember. I don't think it was the place where he died because I don't know if Gail would have. Gail wasn't there. It was me and Andy that was there.
So that's what I was trying to help.
It is important.
Clarify.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Sorry.
Gail did mention he swear he saw Andy, and he said at the park,
which is different from where.
So
Andy
I'm
died.
bringing in out of game knowledge because she.
Andy died in an. So if you've ever been on Front Street, where abuts right next to the river.
Yes.
There are a bunch of sort of staired alleyways that lead up to 2nd Street.
Gotcha.
It was in one of those alleys. They were walking up the stairs to 2nd Street, and that's when they got attacked.
Okay.
And I explained this to Petra.
So I'm going to back up and revise what I just said to in the alley where he died.
No, he said he was at the park when he thought he saw him.
How far is the park from there?
I mean, it's still in the falls, but it's not like. It's not like. Yes, Karnis. You doing
Go
this
ahead. No, keep going.
But it wasn't like right by the alleyway.
Okay. I mean. Well,
okay, I take it all back. Gail didn't say what park, and I didn't ask him.
Oh.
So it could have been close by. I'm not sure.
Okay, at any rate, not exactly where it all happened.
No, it's not the same. Like it was not. It's not like he was.
There are no parks within 1 mile to 2 miles of.
That's all I'm establishing.
Yeah, nowhere close.
Okay.
And honestly, I don't know. Like it just feels like a guess. Like, so I've been kind of thinking through in my head like what it possibly could mean that he saw him, and I was like, at first I was like, well, I had this moment of like, did he not die? Is he actually a vampire now? And then I was like, is the veil flickering? Like there are all these thoughts running through my head of like what it possibly could be.
Right. Before we get into that, are you okay?
Me?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you've been doing. Seems like you've been looking into this a lot, and I've been there. It's easy to get caught up in the mission, so to speak, and lose yourself just a little bit. I just want to make sure you're okay.
Can you tell I've gained 5 pounds because I haven't been running? Is that what you're saying? It's a joke. That's a joke. No, I have been holed up a good bit. You're picking up on something that is happening. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm happy to do what I can, but first of all, I want to make sure that you're okay. And
you know, I'm a little. It's probably different than I normally would be if this all hadn't happened, obviously, but I don't feel that. I feel like I want to figure things out. I want to know more. I want to learn more. I feel like this is a part of my life now, but and I want to kind of like catch up to it. So I'm kind of in that like feeling of trying to catch up to what I know is ahead of me. It's not that I feel like it has changed my life, yes, but I feel overall okay, if that makes sense. Like obviously bad things have happened and they're not fun to deal with. Whole Anna thing obviously sucks. So it's like, you know, you get close to someone because you kind of get pushed into that space, and then this happens, and you know, I have to accept that. But I think as far as dealing with things like that, I am managing as best I could, if that makes sense.
No, it does. And you see me sigh and do exactly this. The only thing that I will say, and this is the lesson that I've learned over the last few days, is there is no getting strong enough to keep all the bad things from happening.
Right.
So you can go in, you can do what you can be there, but ultimately what happens you have to accept. And that's what I've been learning. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think, I guess if there's anything that, that throws me off, like, I understand I'm not going to know everything, but I also saw from watching you and Karen especially that there's a lot more ways I can train my brain to be able to maybe be able to think about these situations differently when I'm in them, even if I won't obviously know everything I could do. Like, there's stuff I watched you guys do that I'm like, wow, like if I at least had those general tools in my tool belt to that in a situation, I might have more ideas or things like that. But I would say if there's something that's like really throwing me right now, it's the fact that like, why is he seeing Andy? And it's like, I don't think he'd bring that up if it was something where it was just a shadow that passed over his shoulder. Like, I really think that Gail had to see something that he thought was real to be able to say that. Real in what way? I don't know. But
nope, that all makes sense. Look, are you asking for help?
yeah.
Okay. Well, only one condition then. In the future, when I'm the dumb one and you know what's up, you teach me, okay?
Dude, we can do that.
All right. So
Cool. Were you guys consciously sort of avoiding touching each other?
No.
I mean,
I just don't see that Maya would have like reached out to her or anything.
Yeah, I figured it was one of those like, I sit over here, she sits over there, and there's no particular reason for us to.
I don't know that we have that kind of relationship necessarily.
Cool. So the answer is yes, then.
I mean, depends what you mean by consciously.
It's just not a thing that's
it's in the background of decisions.
You guys sat on opposite ends of a couch, didn't come near each other.
Who just randomly sits down next to each other on a couch unless you're like cuddling?
Girls sometimes.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
This guy. I don't know.
I was in business mode though.
No,
I don't have that blocker, but yeah, no, that's what I meant. Maybe subconsciously.
KC in real life does, for what it's worth. So.
No, I don't think Maya. I think honestly, let's say Maya had been talking to Anna, or the roles had been reversed, and Petra was sharing something. Maya might be prone to reach out, but when Maya is sharing stuff like that about herself, she's not like reaching for someone else.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured.
And
I just wanted to double
because of how I am in real life, this is kind of how all my characters are going to be. It's kind of one of those things that's hard for me to roleplay any differently.
Understandable.
So you're welcome, any future girlfriend that I have. You're going to have to just, like, go for it. All right, go ahead.
Continue. Talk about coming out of the moment.
Anyway, Maya, towards the end of that, you sort of get the beginnings of a twinge of a very familiar headache that you've been having. And as Petra is finishing speaking, you get small glimpses of sort of a darkened hallway and a young woman, maybe high school age, with dark hair and almond eyes and sort of a darker complexion and a dark basement. And then just sort of very, very briefly, a feeling of holding someone in your arms. Like, and done. Extremely brief, just small little context.
Do I physically react to the headache?
That's up to you. What do you think Maya would do? She's been having these headaches for about a month. Does she physically react at this point?
I feel like there's two things going on in Maya's head at that point. Then it's that she's not normally one to share weakness, but this is a thing where she doesn't necessarily want to bring it up, so she kind of like does a ugh. Okay. Sorry, I've been having this headache kind of thing, but she hates it a little bit because it's kind of showing weakness, but she's doing it for a point.
Okay, that's fine. So there's just sort of that little brief contact, and you immediately shut it down because you know where it leads at this point.
Yeah.
And at that moment, you really didn't feel like you... I don't know. I feel like Maya would be like, no, this is personal stuff, I wouldn't touch it. Does that seem right?
Because I'm realizing that I'm kind of reading Petra a little bit.
Yeah. You realize that these sort of spikes are coming through.
This is what I think Maya would tell Petra, and she would say, you know what, I'm sorry, it's none of my business. But ever since I started having the telepathy with Anna, I've had these other like sort of flashes of memories that aren't my own. Just because we're friends, I want to tell you, I think that I might have had some sense of those. Maybe it feels like some of your memories, but I tried to kind of push it aside because I don't want to read into anything that's not my business, but I want you to know that I did see some things.
Honestly, Maya, if you're starting to inadvertently read people, I'm more concerned for you than for me.
Well, I actually know you, right? It's not like you're just some random person in passing. I just felt that it's important to let you know that.
Fair enough. Sorry. Brings all sorts of weird images to mind. There was this cartoon a while ago about someone who could read minds and he couldn't turn it off. Had to like take special measures to prevent himself from going insane with all the voices. So
I'm not there yet. I'll let you know.
Okay, good. Now, before you go insane, we need to establish a safe word.
Okay. For what?
No, I'm joking. I'm sorry.
Oh. I was like, okay. That wasn't a cartoon. Was that Heroes?
No, it's something you've never watched.
Then there's something I've watched that did that too.
All right, so Maya, after you sort of wrap up with Petra, and as you're leaving Petra's apartment, it's middle evening, early evening, give or take. Sun's still up, but it's setting. That kind of idea. And I assume you're going to head straight away for what you were looking to do.
How far does Petra live from there?
15
minutes, give or take, by car.
She's down in Firestone Park. About what she wants to do?
What?
I had talked earlier about her, damn it, again.
Going to the spot. You know what? I might let Petra know that before I leave.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only asking because I just said I'd help her, so I was thinking, like, would I be going on this field trip?
So I'd probably let Petra know that I was headed that way.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm free. Should I tag along?
I think that would be good. I don't know if anything's gonna come up. I don't know if it'll just be kind of like a look around and see what I feel, but it might be nice to...
I mean, hopefully it should be fine, but you can't be too careful. Just a second. And I will clear away the beer bottles. I will go return the backpack to where I took it from.
Okay.
And sort of, grab my own different backpack and get ready. Oh, wait, actually, I'll look back at Maya. Are you going straight there? and I'll sort of look at the grocery bag.
I actually have already kind of started a bag of my own, and it's in the car. So I'll just throw it in with those
okay.
things.
Just making sure. And then I'll disappear and put that one away.
Okay. I assume you sort of arm up a little bit.
I mean, the standard.
Yeah.
Which is to say that slightly paranoid.
Yes.
No, I mean, your Karnis levels of armed. No, totally understandable.
By paranoid, I mean completely justified paranoia.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody's ever accused me of that unjustified paranoia. Ever. Anyways, so you guys head over then. I'm going to assume Maya's driving.
Yeah, because I had my car already.
And
unless Petra doesn't want to come with me,
I offer gas.
Yeah. No, Petra's all about not paying for gas. All of you guys are, because none of you took resources. Anyways.
Yeah, and I just realized we really need to pay for maintenance on the safe house.
I haven't answered that yet, intentionally, by the way.
It's like $25 a month for each of us.
No, this is like willing suspension of disbelief, like how you watch TV shows and it just works out.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm waiting to see what you guys do over the next couple of months, because maybe you set something up. I don't know. Otherwise, we'll have to talk. Anyways. No, like, seriously, resources is a merit for a reason.
I'm
like,
gonna Jedi mind trick a 16-year-old into taking care of it for me.
Like, you guys
that's something I
have
should do.
to figure something out. So
I don't want the house.
You drive up. Hey, at least all you have to do is pay taxes on it. And utilities if you really want it.
It's winter. Probably should keep the heat going. So the pipes don't freeze.
Well, if you don't pay water.
There's usually... Okay. Anyways, yes.
I'll just live in the basement and establish like a trapdoor entry. All right.
Well, no. So here's the thing. If you don't pay water, you wait for the water to shut off your access, then you run the pipes till they empty. Then you don't have to pay for heat.
Solid.
I've thought of these things. You guys drive up, get off on 2nd Street, park in one of the parking garages, head over. It's getting to be sort of late evening, not sundown yet, but late evening. So we're talking 6 o'clock. Because it's almost winter, so 6 o'clock is like sundown. So yeah, we're talking like 5-ish. You guys get over to the alley where everything happened. It's a little bit hold on, I have to do a thing. It's a little bit south of the pavilion. They're on Front Street.
Yeah.
And maybe 2 blocks, give or take.
Uh-huh.
So you guys head over there. Start running your recorders and flip over EMF. There's an odd flicker. So it's the sort of occasional flick that you're used to seeing, Petra, just from buildings being around you. It's not very large, and it gets a little more frequent if you move it closer to a wall. And you take the time to sort of show Maya these things. Like, if you hold it closer to a wall and it's more frequent than it is when you hold it closer to the middle of the alley, that means it's definitely closer to the buildings, which means it's probably electrical. The fact that nothing is sort of peaking over 300-ish means it's almost 1,000% electrical, because those are just the sort of variations you get throughout living in a city. It's just something that happens. And you guys walk up and down the alley. You check different areas. Petra, your sort of instinctual paranoia kicks in when you see a small blotch. It's not like a red stain or anything like that, but it's just sort of a discoloration of an area of the tiles of the ground, of this sort of paved area.
Mm-hmm.
And so you think to yourself, well, let's be safe. So you spread some salt down, you lay down some lighter fluid, you burn, just to be safe. You guys do that, then you run EMF again. Hasn't changed. Same sort of general readings between 100 and 300. It becomes more regular if you move towards the buildings. Seems very typical city stuff. Maya, make me a intelligence +2 roll.
I wish I'd added more intelligence.
This is just sort of raw memory power.
Sweet.
That's a very typical Maya roll.
Sweet.
All right. Okay, so you remember that Gale was talking about the park.
Uh-huh.
You remember he said the park.
Like Firestone Park?
Well, you remember that Gale has a skate park that he likes to spend time at.
Oh, right.
And it's actually in one of the state parks. And it's not very far. It's about 3 miles, give or take, south, follows the river.
Okay. Hey,
So,
Petra.
your second success gives you the thought that if something went horribly wrong and you were to fall into the river and travel down it, maybe, give or take a couple minutes, you might make your way over to the edge and end up there.
I share these thoughts with Petra.
Worth checking out.
Tonight?
The sun is beginning to set.
There's lights at the skate park, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it feels better to go there than stay here.
I mean, it's not the stupidest thing that we've done recently.
All right, let's do it.
Awesome. So, you guys head out. Maya, you get a text message.
Who's it from, Luca?
It is from Luca.
Yes. What?
Sorry, that's like your Luca tone of voice. Yes.
It says, "Hey Chica, not the sorry. It says, "Hey Chica, missed you for practice this week. Is everything okay?"
Oh, did I miss practice?
You
And
did.
I just kind of text him and go, "Oops."
He texts you back, "No biggie, you at work?"
Checking some stuff out with Petra right now.
Message back, "Where you going? I'll meet you there."
Skate park.
And then he sends you sort of an address, and it's the address of the place you guys are going.
10-4.
He was cool. Meet you there. And then afterwards, you see Vamonos. with sort of with a kappa.
Let us away.
All right, so you guys show up to the it's a state park, so it's a full state park. But a part of it that they've worked is sort of as you pull into the parking lot. Just off of the parking lot is a really nice sort of, what do they call it? It's like a
the ramps?
Something street skate park. No, it's not the half pipe. It's all the inner city stuff that they do.
Oh.
I can't remember what they call it. There's a specific word for it, but it's that stuff. So like, there's a couple of rails, and there's some squares, and there's a couple of small ramps. There's some stairs. Just the sort of stuff you might run into if you were actually skating in a city.
Wait, ready?
Yes, that's actually the one I looked up.
I see it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyways, so in my world, it's attached to an actual skate park. But
that works.
I don't know if it is in real life or not. But that is the one I actually looked up.
Cool.
Yeah, stuff like that. And so you guys show up. You stand out a little bit because, one, you're adults. 2, as you sort of walk over, your style. No, I take that back. Maya could probably fit in if she was alone. Petra, your style's about 5 years out of date.
That's cute.
It looks fine, but the fact of the matter is, it doesn't quite mesh with all the nonsense that the skater kids are doing.
Oh, sure. It's sheer practicality.
Yeah. And then Luca walks up, and he looks straight out of the 90s.
That fits. Honestly.
And it's late November, so he's wearing the full leather duster.
Okay, that doesn't fit.
Yes, it totally does. Anyway.
It's not for skating. You can't move in that. Like.
I'm sorry. No. You meant it fit with the skating thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. No.
Yeah.
No. Like, he's full leather duster, like black jeans, and a weird like t-shirt under a Oxford type shirt thing that he does.
Does he give off a "don't F with me" vibe?
Absolutely.
So that works.
Not intentionally. It's just sort of there.
It happens.
Anyways. So you guys spend about 3 minutes just sort of watching before like a couple of the kids start to like shift away from you. What are you gonna try to do here?
Well, did Maya share any of her thoughts?
I feel like I step to the side for a second and at least like quickly bring Luca up to speed on like, because we probably haven't talked in a little while, so I kind of tell him what's going on quickly.
Okay. I would presume she would have shared with you sort of her ideas as to why you guys were going there. Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, hey Luca.
Hey Chica, what's up?
Oh, there's more than one Chica.
Everyone's Chica.
Yeah, somehow it's almost always you though.
Not Obadiah, but
that's true.
That's because he's not a Chica.
That's because I'm always the one taking over Luca's time and attention.
Luca, if I ever want to make fun of you, I'm going to start calling Obadiah Chica.
I'm sorry, it's a weird thing. My mom used to call my sister
I love
Chica.
It. Stop. Sorry, don't let me make you self-conscious.
Don't change. Okay, so
I don't know if I could if I wanted to.
Should we just start by EMFing this place as casually as we possibly can?
I'm actually wondering, based on what you said, if we shouldn't just take a stroll up and down the river first.
It's not a bad idea. If the river's the connection, let's check by their bed. Just, sort of. That's where things would be, right?
I mean, that being said, I don't mind going up and, like, poking funny devices at kids. We could do that,
No,
too.
I'm just creeped out by my own thought of someone falling down the river, and then I have this feeling like I'm going to fall in the river.
I'm not going to lie. I've had people accuse me of things, and I really don't want to be there. So if you guys are going to go poking devices at kids, more power to you.
Let's go to the river.
I'm sorry, I'm in a weird mood tonight, Luca.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's just one of those things that I had a friend look at me one time and tell me I was the poster child for. Don't worry about it. Anyways.
I'm gonna have fun filling in that blank when I think about this later tonight. All right, let's go.
Off to the river we go.
Okay, you guys head down to the river. And you turn on the EMF set, take it?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, although I'm paying mostly just attention to my surroundings.
Understandable. It's dark. It's getting dark, and there's not a lot of lights out by the river over here. So
and we are both looking for things and looking out for things.
Yes. So here's the thing. Okay, that was supposed to be funnier.
No. I got it. I'm sorry. I just left you hanging.
So, not a big deal. You guys aren't so far from the lights that it's hard to see. It's just one of those things that, like, you have to pay a little more attention to see exactly what's going on around you. So,
I may pull out my
noticing things
flashlight.
around you, not a problem. If you want to try to start detailed investigating stuff, that's going to take a little more. But straight up just noticing stuff, not a problem.
I say we take one walk, just more casually, and then assuming nothing jumps out at us and we don't see anything, all that, whatever, then we start getting more detail.
Sure. Okay. So you guys make
probably
a pass.
Always have one person just sort of watching out at all times, I would say.
I'll be that person.
I was about to say Luca is always that person.
Oh, okay, Luca.
I mean, even if it's subconscious.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, like, sure, and me to some extent too, but like, again, you can only divide your attention so much. Like, if you're microwing on something that will detract, is what
I mean.
If you want someone to solely be looking, I can do that, but
I mean, maybe,
like,
maybe it takes him from an 11 to a 10, like, whatever.
Maya knows Luke is fine in the dark.
Oh, that. Okay.
Anyways, no, but it makes sense. So, you guys, you talk about it and everybody agrees, unless people want to disagree right now. Okay, so we agree, so we do it. You guys make a pass down the river, just sort of generically looking for stuff. EMFs are out. If either of you take a look back, because at this point he's not hiding it very well.
The eyes.
You see the eyes.
Mental note made.
Then everybody stops. You didn't see much in the way of activity. And as you turn around to sort of begin to discuss, Luca sort of shrugs. I don't think this is a spirit we're dealing with.
Why do you say that?
He sort of looks at you, Maya, intentionally, and says, I just get the feeling it's not the sort of thing that might leave a mark like that. Petra, you can absolutely make me a manipulation and subterfuge check. -1.
Okay, I'll go ahead and willpower that.
All right.
Nice.
Cool. He's hinting at something to Maya. Like, he knows there's nothing going on here. You just don't know how he knows. And he seems to be insinuating something to Maya.
Okay. I'm going to let this play out for a moment.
So there's nothing really here.
Not as far as I can tell. No. It's pretty bare, honestly. There was more activity up by the park.
I mean, Gale wasn't like hanging out by the river when he saw Andy.
Well, that makes sense then. There is something going on here, just not down here. And it's not spiritual. It's something else. Something I haven't really dealt with before.
Is it when you say you haven't dealt with it before, do you mean you know what it is and you haven't, or it's an unknown to you?
I mean, it's new.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
He looks at you, Petra, for a second. Something I haven't seen before.
I get the feeling like you've seen a lot of things.
Yeah, I have.
How are you so confident that there's something at all?
What's your presence, Petra?
2.
All right. Come here. Let's sit on this rock. He walks over and sits down.
Okay.
So I've already talked to Maya about this a little bit, but I've got some weird shit going on with me.
I look him in the eyes.
He looks back. You see brown eyes.
Okay. I'm just
deep, maybe a little sad, but human. And then he sort of reaches into a pocket, flips out a pocket knife, runs the blade across his forearm lightly, not hard, just lightly. A very, very small line of red appears, and he closes his eye and looks back at you, Petra, and you see very different eyes, gold and cat slit. I see things that your average person can't. It's not normal. It's weird. And if you really want to push, we can sit and have a complete conversation about how all the things that have gone horribly wrong with my life happened. But I have the feeling that you've had some similar shit.
It's also kind of cold outside.
Suffice to say, I have a passenger. He shows me stuff. He also tells me you have a passenger too.
Is Maya hearing this?
This was spoken out loud, yes.
So Maya looks at Petra like, WTF, mate, but she doesn't say anything.
My point being, I'm fairly certain there's nothing spiritual going on here. Then the eyes fade back to the normal soft brown.
Fair enough. Honestly, about all I was thinking we might find is, well.
Maya, Petra, make me wits composure rolls -2. Okay, so Petra, you succeed. You look back at his arm. No. Oh. Sorry. I thought I saw. Never mind.
Maya succeeds.
Maya.
I don't
so
succeed. What are you talking about?
You saw that weird moment between Luca and Petra, and then you sort of saw this weird movement, and you looked down and you saw this little line of blood across his forearm, and then you went back as they started to talk again, and you look back down, and there's no blood on his forearm, and no mark.
I feel like for now I just sit with this information.
Okay. All right. Luca gets up and heads off back towards the skate park. I assume you like you guys do what you want.
No, I mean, I've been pushing towards that because I find the river creepy. Like, I feel like I'm gonna fall into it, so I kind of want to go back because that's where Gail saw stuff.
Let's go make some children uncomfortable.
Cool. All right. So you guys go up. The sun has begun to set, and make me the both of you, and I'll roll for Luca. So this is gonna be wits streetwise. Yeah, wits streetwise.
Survival? Question mark. Oh no, there is streetwise, and I have it.
Definitely not survival.
Yeah, no, I forgot there actually was streetwise in this.
Oh shit, Luca did amazing. Okay.
I got 2.
I got
we
a
each got
typical
2.
Maya roll with a dice.
Nice.
Dice pool of 3.
Nice. All right, cool.
We all got 2.
Yeah, and Luca got 3. So you all notice that you guys have only been gone for maybe a half an hour, but the whole demographic has changed.
Because it's night.
Before you had a lot of younger kids, and then aside from that, you had that sort of weird demographic of the older guy / college student trying to be cool, and then just sort of the actual skater crowd, like the people who have been doing it for a decade and they do it because they enjoy it. That's who was there.
Okay.
Now you see a handful of those people still around, but a large portion of younger sort of high school age people in a lot of black with a lot of makeup have sort of showed up.
Do I remember what time? Did I ask Gail what time it was?
You didn't.
Okay.
You didn't. No.
Can I text him real quick and ask him?
Sure.
Okay, I'm texting Gail being like, hey, around about what time of day was it when you were at the skate park? Random question.
Yes. Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Also, can you pick up some muffins?
So if these are vampires, these are the world's most poorly hidden vampires.
I just want them to be.
They're goth kids. They're totally goth kids. It's what they are. Like the baggy jeans, the tight corsets, the weird gossamer clothes.
Do any of them have skateboards?
A few of them, but for the most part, they're more just sort of crowding around the area. Sort of on the outskirts, like at the edges of the light.
Okay.
It seems a lot like... So, no, this isn't a roll. You guys would totally get this. The skate park is open a lot later than the actual state park is. So the state park closes at sundown because, you know, if you're out walking around in the woods at night, you could get hurt. But the skate park has lights. So as long as they're technically within the, like, skate park lighted area, they're allowed to be there. But it's nighttime, and they can sort of, like, skate off to the shadows and sort of hide there.
Make out.
And be, you know, I don't know, emo goth kids. Like,
Make
whatever it was we did, I don't remember. But I don't hide it. It was me. But no, it was that whole, like, oh, it's nighttime and I'm out doing my own thing. It was an empowering thing.
They're high school kids, right?
Yeah, like the oldest are maybe like first-year college students.
That being
Okay.
said, I want to start trying to remember what exactly my vibe was when I was in high school. Just throwing that out there.
You remember, it wasn't this.
No. No, but this had a certain fascination with me when I was in high school.
Yeah, no, like you had that weird moment, especially sort of in like your last year or two, where like you sort of could connect with anyone, and you kind of like tap into that. So yeah, you guys head up.
Did Gail respond?
Not yet.
Okay.
How do you guys sort of want to start questioning people? Or do you want to start questioning people? Or what do you want to do? How would you like to investigate?
Are there any group, like what kind of groups of children are there around? And
There are several groups.
And how old do I seem to them?
Okay. So those are two very different questions.
All right, that said, I think I have an answer to your question, but continue.
Well, so the first question.
First, Petra. That's fine.
Well, the first question is there are a couple of different groups.
Okay.
Three big groups, and then sort of like some people sort of flitting between stuff.
Okay.
So one group is wearing a lot of leather. It's tight leather, a lot of that mesh stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of piercings, and they all seem to have like chains and stuff like that. They seem more bikery than the rest of the group.
Okay.
The second group is a lot of kids in black, but just sort of like basic black. Like black jeans or black pants, black shirts, like nothing special. They look like average people just wearing black.
Yes.
And then the last group is, I love how you call that ice style, but that's how I describe myself. Anyways, the last group is that like super hardcore goth. They have the makeup with the eyeliner and the lips, and some of them have face paint a little bit. You see a lot of tattoos. You see a lot of looser black clothes, long sleeves on almost everybody. Sort of the sort of very hardcore goth group.
Yes.
So those are the three different groups you see. Maya, if you would like to analyze how they view you,
yes,
that is going to be a manipulation socialize roll.
Ooh, that's such a bad roll.
Sorry.
When I have nothing, it's minus what, 3?
I'm sorry, no, you know what? You can use a manipulation empathy. I'll allow that.
Sweet. That's much better.
I have more socialized than you. What up?
That's because mine's not.
If you want to roll it, you can do the same with socialize, Petra.
Okay, I mean, this is just information gathering. So.
I'm just trying to pick which group I'm going to talk to, if any.
So all three groups view you, Maya, as... Okay, so you've seen this before. It's been a long time since you've seen this, but you start to see a lot of the older girls in the groups sort of roll their shoulders back a little bit and sort of cock a hip, and they're starting to take very posturing roles with you, which you, at this point in your life, means they view you as a threat, which means they accept you as one of their own.
Right.
Petra, they all seem terrified of you.
Okay, sure.
All right, I'm still thinking. I don't know, Petra, if you had an idea of what you wanted to do, you can feel free.
Literally, I don't have much of a plan here, so I want to go to...
Luca reaches a hand up each of your shoulders. He says, Maya, why don't you head over there? He points towards like the hardcore goths. He says, Petra.
Group 3?
Yes. He says, Petra, why don't you handle sort of the normies? I'll go talk to the bikers. He heads off.
Cool.
And now I'm... Okay, sure.
Well, Petra, you have options.
I sort of pause for a moment as the two of them walk away, and then I shrug and continue on my assigned course.
All right. So, Petra, you walk up to group 2.
Okay.
Again, most of them are dressed in just, like black pants and t-shirts. There is one young woman who stands out. She has very short pixie cut, and I use that in the right term this time. Like bleach blonde, almost white hair.
Okay.
And she's wearing a little heavier makeup than the rest of the group. Not as heavy as like group 3, but she also has a really, really intricate rolling tattoo up one of her arms. It's actually quite beautiful. It's all in black and gray, but it's this rolling script that, if you would like, you can make a intelligence academics roll to identify. Wow. Is that an actual 1 die, or is that a 0 die?
No, it's 1.
Okay.
4 intelligence, but a -3.
Gotcha. It's Gaelic. You absolutely recognize it because you've seen it on Kieran. You've seen sort of flashes while she was like stretching or something, like flashes of sort of this region.
Karen?
You've seen little dips of You've seen little dips of this language before, and you asked her about it, and she told you it was Gaelic. So you see this language. It sort of wraps up the girl's arm from her pinky all the way and disappears under a very short sleeve.
Okay.
So you presume it goes up to her shoulder and her chest, but you don't know for sure.
Okay.
The rest are, again, very obviously just sort of like regular kids who don't feel like they fit in. You can kind of read that.
Okay.
And as you approach, this young woman walks up to you. What do you want?
My friends and I were looking for something. Kind of curious why there's so many people at the park this time of night, honestly.
You a cop?
Not last I checked.
Just dating one. Sorry, though.
Why you here? We're just hanging out. What's it to you? She takes a drag off a cigarette.
Okay.
She's clearly too young to smoke.
I don't care.
I know.
Nothing, honestly. Just why here?
She takes another drag, looks at you, blows off to the side, looks back. You're one of them weirdos, aren't you? Takes another sip.
Last I checked.
You want to know the story, don't you?
That's why I'm here.
She flicks the cigarette on the ground and grants it out with a combat boot. Sort of leans back a little bit, crosses her arm under a very small breast. It's going to cost you.
Definitively arched eyebrow. Waiting.
She looks to either group and walks forward a little bit. She reaches up slowly and pulls your shirt to the side a little bit, where you see the tattoo across your collarbone sort of exposed.
Okay.
And she draws a finger across it. My kids need ink. Parents won't let it. I need a good guy.
Good artist?
Who doesn't care how old they are.
Yeah, that's more. It's not. It doesn't matter how craftsman like they are.
Okay. Interesting.
She reaches up, fingers through her shirt and sort of pulls it down a little lower than is probably appropriate, and shows off the shoulder that rolls up into what is actually a really interesting and very ornate sort of circle figure over her heart almost.
Okay.
I got some. I want my kids to have some. She lets the finger go.
Suppose I can appreciate that. I have to admit, I'm fresh out of tattoo artist contacts.
Well, then what good are you to me?
I think for
At this point, Casey,
yeah,
would you like to roll something?
sure. Let's roll something. Oh.
So, would you like to try to deceive her? Because you're okay. So,
Oh yeah, no.
do you have a legit artist?
Hell no.
I'm presuming no.
Hell no.
Okay. So this is going to be a deception, right? Or are you going to charm her?
Or am I gonna what?
Charm her. Convince her to help you despite all of it.
Wait, I need to think.
Okay. Would you like me to flip while you think? Never mind. Maya walked away.
Oh, okay. Give me 15 seconds.
All right, no problem. Take your time.
All right. I'm just going to look back at her.
Okay.
And say, look, I could try to bullshit you, but I'm not going to. I don't know anyone. I could keep my eye out, but I don't know anyone. All I got is curiosity for a story and maybe a few of my own. But if that doesn't interest you, then no worries. And I'll give like a medium-sized pause, and then just, if there's no response, I'll start to walk away.
That sounds like a straight up charm roll to me. So let's do presence, expression.
All right.
No, presence, persuasion.
Okay.
Yeah, that's persuasion. Absolutely, yeah. You take that pause, and she sits for a moment, and then there's that breath where you're about to walk away, and she shrugs. You got good stories?
Rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first. What's the etiquette here? Your park.
All right. You know what? I'll tell the kids you're at least willing to look out for them. See if you can find somebody that might ink them. But if you've got good stories, come over by the fire. We'll share them. She walks over. And we're going to swap over to Maya. Maya, you walk up to a group of young people, all wearing long sleeves, lots of leather and denim, the occasional bits of steel and silver showing, lots of tattoos showing on hands or necks or otherwise. Lots of young women doing their very best to sort of show off their bodies in a extreme and unnecessary bid to be the center of attention.
Yes. And probably, I'm assuming the fact that I'm so casual makes them feel more powerful and more unnerved at the same time.
Absolutely.
So,
And you walk up, and the person who walks up to greet you is the last person you might have expected. It's a young man. He's maybe 5'2", 5'3".
oh, he's little.
He's got sort of a weird brown, black, sort of, not quite a bowl cut, but just sort of natural laying hair.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing black and sort of a jacket, but nothing as extreme as the rest of them.
Okay.
Make me a wits composure roll. -2.
Okay.
Okay. You barely notice, but as he sort of walks up and sort of cocks his head at you and raises an eyebrow a little bit, you notice this weird mark across, like, at the corner of his neck and disappearing under his shirt.
Like a scar, like a tattoo.
Like a scar, but not like a thin, like
a
cut
purposeful scar.
Like
a brand.
Like an abrasion scar.
Well, we are at a skate park. Does it seem typical of a skate park or like something?
No, it's about this thick. And it's that weird sort of abraded that you might associate with a skate park scar, with like scuffing, but it's only about like that. And it sort of starts here and disappears under his shirt.
Does it look like a burn?
A little bit.
Like a brand almost?
No, nothing like a brand. Maybe like, no, it's definitely scarring. It's not brandish.
Well, okay. Yep. I think I have a general image. Does he say anything?
Okay. Stop. Have you ever seen like the marks that a rope makes?
No, but
okay.
I like a rug burn.
Like from repeated attempts at strangulation?
I'm there.
Okay.
Just on one part, or that's all I can see?
That's all you see is just
got it. I'm there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, but again, at first he doesn't seem, and then you see that and you sort of go, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And he walks up, sort of offers his hand out, in a very weird, like old world noble way, like hand up to like receive your fingers. It's weird as fuck.
I kind of put my hand on my hip. Hi, I'm Maya.
He holds the pose for half a second, drops his hand, and sort of smiles wryly. You call me Peter.
Is that your name, or is that what I can call you?
He shrugs.
Fair. So what's going on?
I don't know. You approached me.
I mean, technically, I approached the group and then you approached me.
These are mine. You approached me.
These? As in these people?
As in this group? Yes.
So you're like in charge here.
You could say that.
So what are you guys up to tonight?
The same thing we are every night. We enjoy the evening as it is.
I knew it.
Sorry.
Maya, make me a resolve composure roll. This is going to be +1. This kid's weird.
Yeah.
And more than just being sort of like odd and a little creepy, you feel this weird tension against the senses that you've sort of come to recognize. So you've come to the point where you're absolutely fine with this weird sort of like finger touching pressure on your temples. It's now almost a pressure like somebody's put their hand out on your head and is starting to squeeze. And that's abnormal.
Yeah. Do I get the sense then that someone has similar capabilities?
You get the sense that somebody's trying to do something.
Okay.
Outside of, like, you might guess similar abilities, but you can't be sure.
Right. And I don't know enough about what I have capabilities in now, if that's something that I can, like, guard
Resist?
myself against. Yeah.
You absolutely can, and you have. You felt it, and you put up defenses. He's not getting in.
Okay. But I can tell.
You can tell something's going on.
But I don't know.
It's definitely
who.
coming from. No, it's definitely coming from this kid.
Okay. I don't really like him. And if he's
don't.
gonna be all like mischievous,
You really don't like him.
What's the good? Like, what is talking to him doing? Okay. I might try to see if I can't, like, I don't know, chat up some other ones in the group. Or is he blocking me from all that?
He's walked forward. You get the feeling you're gonna have to make it past him if you want to chat up some of the others.
And
like, he's walked forward. You guys are maybe like 10 feet away from the rest of the group.
Okay.
Like, it's very much a show of force.
Yeah.
Would you like to try to invade his mind?
I mean, never mind.
You absolutely have that option at this point. I'm just not sure that I would recommend it.
I was not thinking that I wanted to, because I already don't like him. I already know he's trying to enter my mind. And if I try to enter his, then he could get into mine, and that could be
that was a slightly devil may care recommendation on my part, I will say.
Just making sure. Okay.
No,
I wanted her to know she had that option if she wanted it.
I already thought about it, and I don't want to.
Okay. What do you do then? You have charms. You can work your way around this kid easy.
Right. I'm just trying to think of.
Okay. Let me rephrase.
I'm tempted to. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Tell me what you were tempted to do.
I'm tempted to throw him off guard and be like, "So you into some freaky shit?" and point at his neck.
Yeah. No. Do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Start. Roll me manipulation. Hold on. Where's yours? No, I don't have yours open. I want to say expression, but it could also be intimidation.
Those are the same for me.
No. You know what? Roll me manipulation subterfuge.
But I just got 2.
Then that's absolutely fine. Hold on. Let me double check. That's absolutely fine. Cool.
Okay.
So that's with expression?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So you know this kid's weaknesses already just from observation. How do you just, like, sort of unravel this little douchebag?
Well, like, exactly what I said.
Okay. He sort of takes a step back, and then his smile returns a little deeper. He takes a step forward, and he goes, "Yeah, are you?"
I'm not interested. I'm just saying, like, look like you're like trying to like make up for something here. Like, I don't know the rest of your crew. They have like this whole look going on, and you're just like leading with that, huh?
He sort of leans back a little bit. I'm the hardest fucker on this fucking street. What are you talking about?
I couldn't tell. I'm sorry. I apologize.
He turns and walks. Whatever. If you wanna, he sort of waves and turns off. But you know that you have pissed this kid off.
So I kind of walk up to one of the girls and I go, "What's his deal?"
And okay, so hold on. There's
Okay,
a handful of girls there.
So I have to pick which one.
So yeah, let me sort of. I'm not going to describe each individual girl, but let me give you the general view, if you will.
Yes.
Again, all of them, a lot of black, all long sleeves, high collars, leather, denim, silver chain. You know the look. There are a couple of girls with sort of light-colored hair, not as much makeup, no like tattoos showing anywhere on their face or hands or anything. That seem to be sort of new initiates, if you will.
Yeah.
There's a group that all have this either really bleached white hair or fiery red hair, and none of them have tattoos, but
None.
you see none of them have tattoos showing at all, but you see lots of piercings showing through clothing or on faces and stuff. They seem to be their own kind of knot inside the group. And then lastly is sort of the largest group of girls, and that's the girls who have all dyed and or have naturally dark hair, wearing lots of makeup, really heavy eyeliner, really dark nails, lots of either real or faked tattoos showing up the neck, out the hand, that sort of stuff. That's sort of the largest group that is prevalent, but at the same time, they don't seem, from what you've noticed, to be the more powerful group.
I'm thinking like the middle group.
Okay.
Like a ginge.
Does Maya have piercings of any kind?
I think I can't remember. We did discuss
I know
this.
Maya has scars. I know she has facial scars for sure, because we talked about that. Does she have piercings of any kind?
I would say no. Wait, maybe like a little nose, but nothing.
Okay, so
nothing huge or like some sort of industrial or
nothing
like,
severe.
No, it's all like very contained.
Nose, maybe an eyebrow.
Yeah, something.
Gotcha. Obviously ears, but that's another story. That's normal.
That's not obvious in Nice's book, but
yeah. No, that's super, like, nobody cares about that anymore.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
that's what you're saying, yeah.
So nothing here then, I take it?
Nope, but I thought about looking for someone who might have that.
Oh, all the girls that you're heading towards have they're very obviously not wearing bras, and their
All of them?
nipple piercings are very obvious. Yes.
I'm glad I have this group. That's great.
Okay.
No, I'm thinking like one of the second group you mentioned.
Okay. So you walk up. One of the redheads sort of looks over and sort of gives you not a wave, but sort of a gesture of acknowledgement.
Oh, that was nice. So I walk up. So what's his deal?
You point at Peter.
Yeah.
She looks over and she looks down at you. What's your presence, Maya?
1.
What's your manipulation?
3.
Okay. She she looks down at you and she says, "He leads, we follow. What allowed you to enter our ranks?"
I just chatted with him for a minute and then he kind of went away.
You bested the prince. Fabulous.
The prince?
Something else you've noticed about this group is they're all very tall. Maya's tall, but this group is extremely tall, like 6 foot on average.
So I'm little.
And
But he's 5'2".
Yeah, I know.
Ew, this is weird.
She leans down and puts a finger under your chin, and you feel this super cold sort of pulse through your body as she touches you. And she leans down and looks you dead in the eye. And you swear her pupils switch forms for half a second from normal human to elongated, sort of wide across the iris, and then back. And she turns the gesture and sort of touches your hair, curls a finger around, and lets go. She takes a deep breath and lets go. Now I know why he lets you come.
Oh, yeah?
You can call me Amy. She holds out her hand.
Everyone seems to be telling me what I can call him, but I'm not quite sure if this is anyone's names. I'm Maya, and you can call me that, too.
She takes her hand and shakes it lightly. We have many names, so we prefer to offer what the most prevalent is.
Ah, that sounds fun.
Also, I always figured that you wouldn't wish to call me a Mestra, because it's bulky.
What a name. What nationality is that?
What nationality are any of us? It's from East Europe.
So what do you guys do here all night?
We wait.
On anything in particular?
Many things. And she sits down on one of the small benches and offers for you to sit down. Do you?
I almost joke like I'm gonna sit on her lap and then I sit on the bench next to her.
Oh. Make me a dexterity athletics check.
Oh, I hope I do okay on this. This is gonna be the first one I fail. Oh, thank goodness.
Oh.
At least I got one.
Was it a 1?
Uh-huh.
You go to sort of pretend to sit on her lap, and an arm snakes around your stomach and pulls you down.
I knew it.
And you feel soft lips on your ear. And she says, "So many of you humans are untrustful and find our sexuality distasteful. I think you are refreshing."
Hey, thanks. I giggle uncomfortably, but not entirely uncomfortably.
You feel, well, no. Make me a composure resolve roll.
I don't feel much composure right now.
Awesome. You feel a weird cold pulse sort of start to spread from her hand on your belly, sort of out through your legs and your arms. And then you feel that fire that's sort of knotted in your chest ever since things started, and especially since Anna died. And you feel that weird, cool sensation melt away. And you stand up, and you turn and you face this creature that you now know is not human.
Right. I don't quite know what it is yet, right?
You don't.
Okay.
Though you have your guesses, especially given things that Karen has said.
Yes. So, like, I'm feeling Fae things?
You are.
Okay.
You have that inkling.
I mean, it makes sense from what I've heard from her.
You separate yourself, and she sort of pouts at you.
And she said an I thing about Fae, too. I think Karen has said before.
She has, yes. She sort of pouts at you and leans back and then returns to a smile. Yes, I understand why he let you in.
I just really got to know why the short one's in charge. You guys are like all so tall and beautiful.
Appearances are not everything, child.
Wait, aren't I older than her? Wait, I don't know how old they
yes,
are, right?
You look older than her.
Look, I'm picking things up, guys.
Yeah, no, good. that was big, yeah. No, Maya goes click, 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 fuck.
Hot. Oh, do I get the sense I'm going to get anything more out of this interaction? Or
no, you absolutely are. Not anything usable, and definitely not for what it might cost.
That's the sense I'm getting at, and since I have an inclination it's Fae, I have like this instant like, okay, get out cute, and move on. Okay.
You take a couple steps back, and she narrows her eyes a little bit at you, and as you turn around, you swear she winks at you. And then you're away from that group. And we're going to go to Luca. And really quickly, Luca has, because I'm not going to do conversational myself because it's boring as fuck. He has a couple of quick conversations with a couple of the, alpha, masculine, blah, 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 shake your shoulder types. And we're going to end on Petra, you and Maya sort of happening to look over to
Wait, I thought it was the other group. Oh,
yes.
We're both
looking
done.
over to Luca uppercutting this kid right under the jaw.
Luca.
And that's where we're going to end.
Luca.
This is why we can't have nice things. Good night.
Good night, Scream.
And future viewers.
Yes.
Or good morning, whatever it may be.
Or good morning. Or good evening. Or whatever.
Good summine. All right. See ya.